Hi! Omega Chaos here again, this time with an updated Vampire deck profile. I really like this deck. I got into this deck after the Vampire cards were revealed in the Shadow Spectre set. I thought it was really cool that they made it an actual archetype. Previously there were only Vampire Lord and Vampire Lady, and they weren't really a coherent archetype at all. And a new card was just released in Prime Origin as TGX exclusive, so I remade the deck, and it's now quite a lot different. So let's go as deck. First, Monsters Vampire Vamp. It's pretty much my favorite card in this deck. It's a level 7 Vampire, and it's pretty much can absorb your opponent's monster to it as an equip card, whose attack is higher than this card's attack. And when it goes into the graveyard, when it's equipped with the card by this effect, you can revive it from the graveyard. It's definitely really good. You can trigger its effect when you either normal summon this card or you normal summon a vampire onto the field. So definitely a really good card. I'm kinda tempted to run 2 of this card, but then I would have to take out Vampire Grace, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. So definitely really good. Definitely a really good addition to a Vampire deck. Then one Vampire Grace. You can revive it when you spell someone a level 5 hard zombie type monster by paying 2000 life points. And pretty much has the same effect as Vampire Lord. Pretty much you can once per turn you get declare a card type and then master spell or trap, and your opponent has to send one card of that type from the deck to the graveyard, so it can help you trigger your Vampire Kingdom effect. So yeah, definitely good, but I might take it down in the future. I'm not sure yet, because its first effect is really underwhelming because you rarely ever use it. Then 2 Shadow Vampire, one of the most essential cards in the deck. It's when you normal summon this card, you must summon a Dark Vampire from hand or deck, and if you do, only that monster can attack for the rest of the turn, and this card can only be used for a Dark Exchange monster as exchange material. So definitely really good. I ran 3 of this card previously, but I don't think it's necessary to run 3 because of that attack restriction. But still, yeah, it's definitely a really good card. Then 2 Vampire Duke. When it's a normal summon, you can play on spell summon a Dark Vampire from the graveyard with face up defense. And when it's spell summoned, it has that milling effect to trigger your Vampire Kingdom. Then 2 Vampire Lord. Many Vampire players don't use this anymore, but I think it's really underrated and actually really good. Its effect is pretty much when it inflicts spell damage, it has that same milling effect, pretty much the original card that had this effect. It's a really old card, and if it was destroyed by an opponent's card, you can revive it in your next damage phase. Definitely really good. It also is pretty good if you run against the fire hand, so you can just revive it in your next damage phase. So definitely I would never cut this actually. It's just so good. At least in my testing. Then 1 Vampire Lady, another vampire card that many don't use. It has that same effect as Vampire Lord's first effect pretty much. It's just you can easily summon this. It's not a level 5 higher vampire. So you can just easily trigger a Vampire Kingdom's effect if you inflict battle damage to your opponent. Then 3 Vampire Sorcerer. It was the most essential card in this deck. When this card in possession is destroyed by opponent's card, it will battle or card effect. You can add 1 Dark Vampire monster or a Vampire spell or trap from a deck to your hand. And you can banish this card from the graveyard then you can normal summon your one Dark Vampire without tributing this turn. So definitely really good card. Pretty essential to get out your vampires. So yeah, definitely really good. Then 3 Masuki. Of course, vampires are all zombie type monsters, and this can revive them. Then 2 Pyramid Turtle. When this cuts through a battle, you pretty much plasma any of your zombie, any of the monsters in this deck. So definitely really good. Then 2 Goblin Zombie. When it inflicts Paladin's Bond, you can send one top card of the deck to the graveyard with them. And this then triggers Vampire Kingdom's effect because a card was sent from the opponent's deck to the graveyard. And when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can search a zombie type monster with 1200 or less defense from deck to your hand. So I have to search out your Shadow Vampire or Masuki or Zombie Master, but unfortunately can't search out your Vampire Sorcerer or Vampire Vamp, but still a really good card to run in this deck, I think. And then the last monster in the main deck is Zombie Master, just for rank 4 Xyz plays, but it's not really that necessary. But yeah, I still run this at 1. Then spells. 3 Vampire Kingdom, really essential card for this deck. Zombie the monster gained 500 attack to damage calculation, and once per turn, when a card is sent from opponent's deck to the graveyard, you can target one, pretty much mana effect, target one card on the field, and send one target vampire monster from hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, destroy that target. So definitely really good, helps you to control the field and destroy your opponent's cards. But of course you have to be careful with this card because it's a mana effect. So yeah, and it's also really good against Light Swarms, of course, because they have sent cards from the deck to the graveyard with their Light Swarms. So yeah, definitely really good. Then 2 Book of Life, revive zombies on the graveyard, and you can punish your opponent's monster from the graveyard. So definitely really good. Then supply, 2 supply unit. It's a recent addition to this deck. Because you run a lot of floaters in this deck, and yeah, it definitely can help you maintain card advantage. So yeah. Then 1 Allure of Darkness. Of course, it's Allure of Darkness limited, of course. Of course, for throw power, you have right now mostly it's darks, of course, except Pyramid Turtle and Masuki. Then Foolish Burial. Just to send Masuki to the graveyard or even Vampire Sorcerer if you want. Then Burial from a different dimension. Just to recycle your Masukis or Vampire Sorcerers, so definitely really good card in here. 2 Mystical State based off of course, back removal, and Dark Hole. Traps, Vampire Takeover. Just to get a Vampire Kingdom to the field if you have no card in your field card zone, and all your face monsters you control are zombie type monsters. Minimum 1, you can activate the Vampire Kingdom directly from the deck, and then you can summon a Dark Vampire from a graveyard in place of defense. So definitely pretty good card in here, but I don't think it's necessary to run more because it can get cloggy. Then Solemonic, of course, the most broken trap card in the game, I think. Blackroom Heaven, really good in this format because of all Xyz summoning going on. Postmaster 4, of course. Deck card, I run in many of my decks, many of another adversary. They basically like a non-targeting dimensional prison, and you can also then you can summon that monster to your side of the field in your opponent's next end phase of the next turn. But you have to take damage equal to that monster's attack, of course. So it's kind of risky card, but I still really like this. Then the last cards in the main deck are 2 French Chain to the X deck. 2 Greenspan Knight Vampire Ram, because 2 life has 2 monsters. And pretty much revive a monster from opponent's graveyard, so yeah, really good. But if you do that, only that monster can attack for the rest of the turn. so you're mostly going to use that effect in your main phase too. And when you destroy one's card, your battle card effect, that takes into graveyard in your next turn phase. Next turn phase, you press one discard in face of defense, so that would be really good. Then Others Keeper of Armageddon. I run this because it's a Dark Monster, and since Shadow Vampire and Vampire 2 can all be used as action material for a Dark Monster, it is really good. Just to destroy your opponent's face up card. Then one Shark Fortress. Run this because it's a Dark Monster, rank 5. You must say you can attach one action material, then one of your monsters can attack twice, basically. Then 161 Vulcasaurus. Just in case you want to overlay with 2 Vampire Lords, because Duke and Shadow Vampire can't be used for this card. So really good, of course. Then number 66 Master Key Whittle. Of course, mostly a dark deck, so I can use this. Number 1 of Ragnar Zero against decks like Fire Fist or Harpies or Bushings. Then number 1 of Masado Arc, of course, the best rank for currently in the TCG. Then number 50 Blackship Corn, really good against hands and things like that. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, it's a cover card of the next Challenger set. Basically, it has 2 extra materials, and then halve one of your monster's attack, and then discards again the same amount of attack, so it can become a huge speeder pretty much. Then Coral Gorgon, Anti-Luminescent Knight, it can redirect target, so yeah, definitely really good. Then Custard Avian Skyblaster, you must get rid of any face-up card and send it to the deck. Pretty much when this card comes out, it pretty much trumps number 101 as a best rank 4. Then use for Exile Knight, of course, to defeat to have less cards. Also, that rarely happens. Laval Chain, of course, send your Mesuku to the graveyard or even Vampire Sorcerer, really good. And then one Cowboy for that 800 lost damage. So this was my updated Vampire deck profile. So I hope you enjoyed this. For now, goodbye. Oh, my Chaos out.